Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I'll be discussing the international friendly between the US Women's National Team and the Republic of Ireland's Women's National Team. You can also listen to this match review on Spotify, link in the description below. Likewise, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you can also watch this game review on YouTube. Link will be in the description. Alright, so the US has some tough matches ahead of them, Republic of Ireland and Canada. It's kind of hard to say how Ireland would do in these games. They definitely have some good players, and I think they're a team that can actively challenge the US. I think how Ireland does will depend on how they decide to approach this game, or these games. Ireland, from what I remembered, used to play in a 3-5-2, and that could be a challenge for the US in the midfield, especially now with the roster Emma Hayes decided to go with. So Hayes decided to go domestic for these friendlies, meaning she wanted to rest the players that play in Europe. This also means no Lily Johannes in the midfield. Hell, not even Lindsay Heaps was called up. We still have Sam Coffey, which is good. But if the US is looking for more control and support in the midfield, we could probably throw in Sam Meza, maybe Claire Hutton too. I would like to see how Hutton does alongside Coffey. Bethune would be a good attacking option to see. I think she'll connect well with the attack. Overall, the US midfield should be able to handle Ireland well, as long as they can manage pressure and, of course, get out of it. As for the US's attack, they should be okay. Biandulo, Cooper, Ryan, Sears, Sentnor, Alyssa Thompson. These players have been called up to the national team before, and they have done well in the past. Hoping to see more of Cooper and Sears though. Ryan, Sentnor, and Thompson will definitely get forward. At the same time, Biandulo and Lavelle are also veteran attacking players, so there is experience there. It's kind of unfortunate we don't have Sophia Smith, Mal Swanson, or Trinity Rodman at the moment. But, you know, pregnant, resting, in that order. As for the US's back line, they could see some pressure from Ireland, but they should be able to keep things under control. Again, I guess it will depend on how aggressive Ireland decides to be in this match, if they're going to take this game to the US and actively challenge them, or if they choose to be more patient and opportunistic, which is also fine. That all being said, let's get into the lineup for this match. Alright, so the lineup. We have Claudia Dickey in the goal. For defenders, Naomi Girma, Avery Patterson, Emily Sonnet, and Lily Reel. For midfielders, Sam Coffey, Claire Hutton, and Rose Lavelle. For forwards, Ellie Sentnor, Michelle Cooper, and Alyssa Thompson. Alright, so it is an interesting lineup. Claudia Dickey is making her debut for the national team, which makes me really happy. It will be interesting to see how she does in this game and if she and the back line will face any challenge from Ireland. Again, Ireland is an interesting team, but how they do in this game will depend on how they choose to approach this match, whether they will actively challenge the US and put them under pressure, or focus more on counterattacking. The US midfield and attack will be something to keep an eye on. Coffey and Hutton will hopefully be able to maintain control. Control will be a must in this game, especially if the US is faced with pressure. Coffey is usually good under pressure though. Hutton will be a player to watch, mainly just to see how she does alongside Coffey and what she can bring to this midfield. Lavelle will also be able to get forward as well. It will be interesting to see how this attack, and also the midfield, plays together. It is surprising Hayes did not go for more experience in the attack with Lynn Biandulo, but these players in the attack right now, Sentnor, Thompson, and Cooper, should do well. Thompson should be able to break through Ireland's back line with her pace, but the same also goes for Cooper, Sentnor, and Lavelle. Maybe Yasmin Ryan could have started too, but she may come on in the second half. That all being said, let's get into the first half. Alright, so the first half, we are off. If you've seen my last couple game reviews, they're a little different from the way I used to do them before. They're shorter and hopefully more digestible. Yeah, that's a word to describe it. But yeah, hopefully this is a lot better or a lot quicker. All right, so the US are in a 4-3-3. Ireland are in a 4-3-3 as well. All right, so 10 minutes in, this is a case of both sides getting settled and getting a feel of how each other plays. Ireland seems more reserved in these first 10 minutes. Their long balls and passes are getting recovered by the US back line. On the other hand, the US has been far more successful with their transition and attack. We are beginning to see Thompson's pace. She has been successful at getting past the Irish defense. The US had some corner kicks, but have not converted their chances just yet. 21-minute mark, the US would grab their first goal in the 18th minute thanks to Patterson's header. The US were awarded a corner kick. Lavelle would go short and cross it in. Patterson was able to connect. The goal was definitely coming for the US. So far, they were able to create more chances and keep the pressure on Ireland's back line. There was some concern for Cooper in the 20th minute. She was tackled from behind and went down pretty hard. Her head hit the pitch and she had to get checked over. After going through concussion protocol, Cooper was cleared to come back in. All right, so we're at the 29th minute mark. The US continues to put Ireland's back line under pressure. Ireland has not seen much possession and their attack has yet to challenge Dickey. Or the back line. There was a moment in the 26th minute where Barrett was able to make a run, but she ended up getting surrounded and was forced to play it back. Control has been in the US's favor as they continue to keep the ball in Ireland's defensive third. All right, so we're at the 45-minute mark. Lavelle's pressure has been tough for Ireland's back line to deal with. She is part of the reason why the US are able to keep control in Ireland's defensive third. Thompson is also hassling Ireland's defense as well, but it would be good if we can see her making more runs. She has the ability to speed past defenders. When it comes to Ireland, they were able to hold off the US's attack fairly well. Brosnan has been good in goal for Ireland. She had a fun moment in the 40th minute. She dropped the ball after making a save, then recovered it and had a good laugh. The first half would see an additional 5 minutes tacked on. Coffey would receive a touch and make a run into Ireland's box, where she would score and grab the US's second goal, making it 2-0 before halftime. In the 50th minute, Barrett would make a run into the US box, but ultimately be ruled offside. It would be the last action of the first half. The US would go into halftime up 2-0. All right, so the US are up 2-0. Overall, they're doing well. They are keeping possession and getting forward. They are putting the Ireland back line under pressure. And to Ireland's credit, they are holding off the US's attack despite being under fire for the majority of the first half. Unfortunately for Ireland, they were unable to get forward as much. It is kind of disappointing, honestly. They are not putting the US under pressure, nor are they doing much to challenge them. Coffey, Hutton, Lavelle, Cooper, and Thompson were able to regain control pretty easily. The same can also be said for the US's back line when Ireland tries to go long. Control is still in the US's favor. The buildup has been great. If the US wanted to, they could up their pace and intensity a little more in the second half. But with a 2-0 lead, the US may take their foot off the gas pedal and invite Ireland to attack them. This is something the US often does when they have a nice lead. Personally, I think they should just keep going with their intensity, just keep upping the intensity. But who knows, maybe they may dial it back just a little. That being said, let's get into the second half. All right, so the second half, we are off. So there is some silliness at the start of the second half from both sides. Germa's misplaced pass would find an Irish player. Ireland would make a short run and play it out wide. Ireland's cross would get defended away. Dickey is likely thinking, it's all right, the rain makes mistakes like that a lot. In the 49th minute, Thompson would cross the ball into the Ireland box. Brosnan was going to catch it, like it was definitely within catching range, but then got knocked off by her defender. All right, so the 57-minute mark, the US are not in the mood to take their foot off the gas just yet. They are still on the attack and hunting for goals. Lavelle would grab the US's third goal in the 53rd minute. Cooper would play the ball up to Sentnor. Sentnor would cross it into the box and connect with Lavelle. So still out for blood, Thompson would make a cross in the 57th minute. Sentnor would collect and make an attempt, but she would see it go wide. You could almost hear Ireland's defense and Brosnan breathing a deep sigh of relief. That's how close that was. So 67th minute mark. In the 58th minute, Lavelle and Patterson would come off for Moultrie and Giselle Thompson. Alyssa Thompson has been challenging the Ireland backline really well. It is like they do not know what to do about her. In the 62nd minute, Alyssa Thompson would charge into the Ireland box and score, making it 4-0 for the US. Brosnan would dive, but miss it. So when it came to that play, Alyssa Thompson just went right through the defense. Yeah, they stepped up to challenge her, but I don't know, she just ran right through them. So the US is still keeping control and getting forward. There was a dangerous moment for the US in the 60th minute where Ireland would play it into the US box and make an attempt. Dickey would block it and the US would clear and regain possession. So the 81-minute mark, Cooper and Girma would come off in the 72nd minute for Biandolo and Bug. The US is still keeping control, and Alyssa Thompson is still messing with Ireland's defenders. 90-minute mark, Alyssa Thompson and Sentnor would get subbed off for Sears and Ryan in the 85th minute. Moultrie would make a big attempt from outside the box, but it would ultimately hit the crossbar. It was pretty close though. The match would end in the 90th minute with no extra time. The US would come away with a 4-0 win against Ireland. Alright, so the US wins 4-0. Overall, this was a solid performance from the US. Alyssa Thompson and Avery Patterson really shined in this game. I know I didn't talk about Patterson as much, but yeah, she was pretty much all over the place. She was getting forward in the attack, she was creating crosses, and she even scored. So both of them, Patterson and Thompson, they did well breaking through Ireland's defense and creating chances. As a whole, the US were successful at breaking down the Irish defense and keeping them under pressure. The build-up and connection in the attack was fluid and cohesive, really great to see. Unfortunately, Ireland would turn out to be underwhelming in the second half, much like the first half. They may have gone forward a few times, but ultimately they could not challenge the US's defense all that much. The US was quick to recover possession and get back on the attack. Ireland did their best to hold up defensively, but Alyssa Thompson, as well as the rest of the US's attack, was a problem they could not handle nor figure out. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that. That is all I have for you guys today or tonight, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.